Happy Friday, Millbrook. You've heard it said before, have faith like a child. But what does that mean? What does it mean to have faith like a child, to feel inspired by things, to feel imaginative and creative? How do those childlike qualities translate into our faith, into our devotion to God, into our spiritual lives and our discipleship? Well, I was thinking about our Friday video, and I wanted to share with you a lesson that I've taught with our preschool during our preschool chapel lessons. It's a story from the Bible, and I wonder if you can figure out by the title which story it is. There once was a boy who shared his sandwich. Now, what story from the Bible could this be? Breaking bread happens all throughout the Bible. Gathering for a meal or a party or a festivity happens Old Testament, Jesus' time, later in the epistles. This is a story from John chapter 6 of Jesus feeding the 5,000. Now, what does that have to do with a little boy sharing his sandwich? Sometimes it takes childlike faith to believe that the impossible is possible. Sometimes it takes childlike generosity and imagination to see the ways people can come together in small acts of kindness that cause a ripple effect to change the world. In our story, 5,000 people and more are gathered, pressing in on Jesus, and he all of a sudden realizes these people haven't had supper. They're hungry. And the disciples say, well, we can't feed them. Send them home. Tell them to make their own dinners. Go to the local market. And Jesus said, no. You give them something to eat. And thus it was from the crowd that loaves and fishes were collected. Not a lot, just a little. Now, of course, it didn't say they created a sandwich-style meal to share. But nonetheless, it takes that imagination and that faith to partner with Christ to create something miraculous. Sometimes we have to channel that childlike faith to say, how can this little portion sustain all of us? I wonder how God is calling you to partner in your life with God to do something big. And maybe at the time, the thing that God's calling you to do may not seem that big at all. Maybe it's sharing your sandwich. Maybe it's offering words of encouragement or affirmation. Maybe it's spending one day volunteering at the food pantry. But never, ever underestimate what God can do when we partner with Christ, with the Spirit, to do something for others. Remember, Jesus said, you give them something to eat. Let us have childlike imagination to see all the ways that resonates in our lives.